All right, Relevant Thoughts blog is here. I'm your guy, Lewis to the T. We're just gonna jump right in this morning. This is a topic I've been thinking about for a few days, and I've kind of gone over in my mind a few different times about how to address it, how to discuss it. It may end up being one of those that we just talk about a couple times in a row. Hopefully, we can get some engagement on this one in the comment section so that I can understand more about other people's perspective. But I want to talk about self-centered versus centering self. And that's not just a play on words. Those are two very different things. To be self-centered versus understanding how to center self. Let's figure out if you are one of these, if you identify as one of these, or if one of these has plagued your life in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's you or somebody you're close to or used to be close to, I just think it's an important topic. So let's jump into self-centered. I think it's easy to talk about self-centered because it has earned a negative connotation because it typically is something that's negative. But I do believe that it is something that's habitual. I think that it's something that's learned. And anything that can be learned can be unlearned, right? If you understand it, its impact on people and impact on yourself, I think it's something that you can dismantle, if you recognize that it is something harmful to you as a person or to your relationships or other people. So self-centered, from what I have experienced and understand, is really the inability to get beyond self in almost any situation. So for instance, self-centered people, you're having a conversation about your toe. You hurt your toe, it's agonizing pain. We all have hit our toe, right? So we know what that feels like. But you can't have a conversation with a person about the agony of this hurt toe without them talking about their broke ankle 10 years ago. You have a conversation, you're excited, you bake this cake, everybody loves this cake, you didn't even realize it was that good yourself, and you're really excited about it, and the person has to tell you about these prize-winning muffins from like 2012. So, self-centered people really have an issue or a problem not making things about them. And sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. It's like they're listening to you. They may even smile. They may even get excited about you, but they can't close out the conversation without inserting self. They can't let you have the moment just for you. They have to figure out how to make it about them. Or another example that comes up is you go to a person and you may be discussing an issue that you have with them. And nowadays, people have termed this gaslighting, where I come to you about an issue that I have with you, and instead of addressing that issue, you start talking to me about what's wrong with me. It is gaslighting, but it is also a form of self-centeredness. We can't get away from you being a victim or you being the center of the conversation or the interaction. So I think self-centered, if I state it plainly, is just a person that can't get beyond self. They can't see a broader picture that doesn't include them being the center of either the attention or the focal point. It's just hard for them to do. So self-centered is not something that we strive for. Self-centered is not something that, we embrace. Sometimes you accept it, as behavior from a person that maybe you love, you've become close to, a family member, a long-term friend, but it's not typically something that we look forward to or become excited about. With some people, it's not all the time, but it's enough that you identify it as self-centered. So it's just not a great thing, right? So switching gears and talking about what it is to center self and what the difference looks like. From my perspective, centering self still serves other people. When you center self, the first thing I think about is the example that people give, or not people, but flight attendants give on flights, where they say, put your mask on first. Put your mask on first, because your ability to receive oxygen, your ability to stay conscious gives you the ability to help all of those around you, even the most vulnerable. They always give the example, even if you have a small child, even if you have a baby, put your mask on first, because they know instinctively parents and adults will try to help the child first. But if helping the child, in the midst of helping the child, you lose consciousness or you can't breathe the way that you need to effectively, then you end up harming self and those around you. So centering self to me is putting your mask on first. Centering self says that I am going to ground myself in my beliefs, in my faith, in the things that serve me best, in the things that pour into me So when it is time for me to engage other people, I have something to give. Centering self says, let me take care of me. Let me make sure that my environment, my word choice, my people, my circle are all healthy, nurturing, and supportive. So then when it's time for me to be there for other people, I have something to pour out. So I think centering self is about grounding. It's about understanding who you are. It's about making sure that you're taken care of, not just for the sole purpose of taking care of others, but doing so positions you to take care of others. So that to me is centering self. Centering self is preventing yourself from being harmed, ensuring that you are nurtured, and that your cup is full, and that you have the ability to be your best self for you first and for others thereafter. So let me know your thoughts. Please, engage me in the comments. Let me know what you think and what your thoughts are on this. How do you feel about self-centered versus centering self? Do you struggle with either of these that you can identify? Yeah, let's start a conversation and have the best day that you can. And if you can't, have a great day. Make the day great.